How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. It's that time of the year again. It's top 10 time. However, this year, with how much stuff that there was released that I grabbed, not including how many Marvel Legends there were, we're going to do a separate top 10 this year. We're doing a non-Marvel Legends, so there's no Marvel Legends in this top 10 whatsoever. We're going to do a separate top 10 Marvel Legends video. I haven't got that thrown together yet. I was waiting for my Mesco Indiana Jones, but he still hasn't shipped. I just messaged them again, like, yeah, he's coming. We just haven't shipped him yet. And I'm like, you know, it said June or July. My birthday's on the 23rd. I kind of want my Indiana Jones. I just beat the Great Circle, but it is what it is. I'm still waiting on that. So I was like, I need to do my top 10 before the year is over. So we're doing that. And here are the rules. So has to have been released this year, so no reissues, those don't count. So if it came out in 2023 and they reissued it, like for instance some Dragon Ball SH figure arts, those do not count. So none of the Dragon Ball SH figure arts that I got this year count because they were all reissues. So they have to be new releases, no reissues, which means has to be new sculpt, paint tweaks or like pinless updates are fine, all that kind of stuff. But as far as like if they repainted a Stormtrooper and released it, it's not going to go in this top 10 because that mold is at least 5-6 years old. Not that old, but 3 or 4 years old at this point. So, you know, that's just a for instance. There's like one Star Wars Black Series figure in this. I may have missed a couple, but I wasn't focused on that because my Star Wars collection, much like my Marvel Legends collection now, is mostly complete. So yeah, with all that being said, let's jump into Rowdy Riles' top 10 non-Marvel Legends action figures of 2024. As you can see, we've got essentially every figure I bought in 2024 that is not a Marvel Legends, because like I said, I'm going to have to do a separate Marvel Legends because it was such a good year for them and there were just so many releases. It's kind of unfair to put them with other figures, so it's kind of its own thing. So what I'm going to do is go by either group by group or one by one and grab them and talk about them and tell you why they're not going to make it into the top 10 until we get to 10 figures. And it's going to take a while, but it'll be fun. So right off the bat, I can tell you already there are 2 figures that are going to be on my worst figures of 2024 video, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab them now because they're going to get eliminated first. She's trying to take some others out with her. I love the Last of Us video game, but this Joel and Ellie from Spin Master in their Shapes collection from PlayStation were kind of the disappointment of the line. Every other release had been really solid, and then they have really ugly torso articulation, which doesn't really add to the figures. One of Ellie's pegs broke. It's hard to get things in and out of their hands. The face sculpts are nice, but that's not all that you want from a figure sometimes. Sometimes you want it to look good and function well. And while these do, well, they don't really look good because of those torsos. So they are the first eliminated, and they are going to be in my worst of 2024 video for sure. And then another part of the Shapes collection, that there were just better Kratos releases in this last year, and one of them is standing there in the background. But this is the Shapes collection Kratos. So by extension, also Atreus is going to get eliminated. I know I'm eliminating these guys early, and I'm not saying it was a bad toy line at all. It was just when it came to God of War releases, there were a lot better releases this last year in the last couple years as far as scaling and paint. But the articulation is good, the accessories are good, but they're just not making the cut. Zeus! Moving on to G.I. Joe Classified Series. She's kind of hiding back there, but I was really looking forward to this release, and it was kind of a bummer because as cool as she is, as many as accessories that she comes with, she does not like to stand up. Like, her feet don't really work. They're kind of rounded on the bottom, and that's a shame. Scarlet is a cool figure and a cool character, probably one of my favorite female Joes, but those feet ruined it for her. Now it's already going to start to get hard because there's just so many cool figures. But let's say that for G.I. Joe also, we're going to eliminate this 60th anniversary Action Marine Sniper because she is really cool, and she does have a lot of accessories, but there's just better figures that came out this year, and that's saying something because she's a really cool figure and she has a lot of stuff. So I think on that same logic, we're also going to eliminate Jinx. The female Joes just kind of came up short this year as far as coolness. I still have Cobra Commander and and Cobra Officer on the retro card to get to, but and also I'm still waiting for them to ship my Mezco Indiana Jones. They took my payment, so I'm still waiting for that. So this is like, there's going to be a couple spots in the top 10 that, you know, are interchangeable and maybe even get slid out once they get that Mezco Indiana Jones. But we're going to get some of these figures out of the way. Jinx, great figure, great release, just better releases, and I don't see any of the G.I. Joe Classified series getting on my top 10, if I'm being honest, just because there's just so much stuff. Next, we're going to get rid of Ken, because as much as the Jada Street Fighter toys toy line is probably my favorite toy line of the year, Ken is just reuse of Ryu with a different head. So cool figure, cool character, but reuse, so he's going to get eliminated early. I grew up with Street Sharks, and I love Street Sharks, but I don't love the bad guys simply because they're bad guys. So we're going to eliminate this guy. Is it Dr. Paranta's head or something like that? Okay, Ripper, don't start knocking people over. This is what I don't want. And this guy, I forget his name, but what is it, like Drill Nose or something? We're gonna eliminate them early because I like the Sharks more than the bad guys. I don't have the whole Monster Force lineup here because there were so many, but I know which one is my favorite, which is this guy. And then we also had the bad guys, so we're going to eliminate the bad guy because I got them for toy photography, because we don't want, you know, fascist World War II figures made, but a representation that closely aligns with that is nice, especially with that Mezco Indiana Jones coming and SH Figure Arts and all the other Indiana Jones figures that we got last year. So I got these guys because they have a certain aesthetic, but they're not going to go in my top 10 because they're evil, they're bad guys. So really cool figures. Operation Monster Force by Fresh Monkey Fiction. We're going to get rid of the Sleepwalker Agent first. Oh, Jada Toys, I love you, but there's only going to be one Street Fighter in my top 10, I'm pretty sure. So DJ, we're going to say farewell. Cool release, one of the latest releases from Jada Toys, but we are going to eliminate him because Cammy's probably going to be my number one this year, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, DJ's going to go, and by that logic, we're also going to get rid of M. Bison. We're not going to eliminate Guile yet because he's a really cool figure in my opinion, but so is Bison, so is DJ. Doesn't mean they're bad, it just means they're not going to be in the top 10 this year. I don't know if you saw him volunteer as tribute when he took a nosedive, but we're going to eliminate him next. There is going to be a Street Shark on my top 10, I'm pretty sure, because I really like the new Street Sharks, but I have a favorite Street Shark, and just like Cammy, favoritism and being a really cool figure kind of edge it out in the end. So we're going to get rid of him, and we're also going to get rid of Ripster. Not my favorite Street Shark, surprisingly. I'm sure he's a lot of people's favorite, but yeah, we're going to get rid of Ripster, and I forget his name. Why do I forget his name? Is it like Thrasher or something? Or Jab? I don't remember. But yeah, those two are going to go. Starting to get a little bit harder here, but I love Kenshin. I love Himura Kenshin as a character. I don't love the author because he's a piece of crap, but even for SH Figure Arts, he is undersized, and that is the only reason that I'm going to eliminate our SH Figure Arts Kenshin this early in the game, because he's a fantastic figure, but he's just too small for Kenshin, even in the true 112 SH Figure Arts style. So bye, Himura Kenshin. Oro. Going with the same logic of favoritism, my least favorite, Biker Mice from Nacelle, a newer toy company that is actually doing a fantastic job. These are cool Street Sharks. I'm not sure quite what scale they are. They seem to be in between 1/12 and 1/10 just because they're so varying in size, but we're going to get rid of Moto first because he's not my favorite. All right, Dalsim, your time has come. It is time for you to get eliminated. Great figure, nothing wrong with him, just not top 10 material with how many awesome releases that came out this year. With all factors considered, which is favoritism and aesthetic and articulation and all that stuff, he marks all of the boxes except for favoritism because I was never a Dalsim player. I always played Cammy, Blanca, or Chun-Li. Next up, we're going to get rid of Retro Card Beachhead because, much like the other G.I. Joes, great release, lots of cool stuff, but I just got him to get the upgrade from the original release, which was kind of crappy because he looks more realistic, and that's the only attachment that I have to the character. Plus, he also does not like to stand up. So, goodbye, retro card, Beachhead. Next up, we are going to get rid of SH Figuarts Power because great release, great articulation, also Chainsaw Man as well. I've only seen a couple episodes of the anime. They're awesome figures, but for my SH Figuarts this year, I have another figure in mind for the top 10. Both great releases, no besmirching them. Although Chainsaw Man is a little finicky with the accessories staying on, like his mouth and his tie and these hands. I hate those hands. So there are some other factors that are keeping at least one of them out of the top 10, but in my opinion, they go as a pair. So bye y'all. Next up, we are going to get rid of the Jason David Frank White Dragon figure. Not because it's a bad figure, but I really only got it for that Jason David Frank head sculpt and this figure really because, you know, he's my favorite Ranger and rest in peace. But just for the head sculpt, having not seen the movie because it still hasn't come out, can't say that I'm that attached to it in my top 10. So goodbye, White Dragon. And that's an elimination for the 2-pack because the other one is the same with just the other actor's head sculpt along with repaint. So yeah, we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here. So other not favorite biker mice is going to get eliminated. That's Vinny Moto. What is his name? I don't remember. Crap, why am I forgetting names? But yeah, we're gonna get rid of him. And then we're also going to get rid of retro carded Duke because, yeah, like I said, I didn't see any G.I. Joes getting on my top 10 this year, and there's really no Hasbro up here anymore at this point other than the Red Turbo Ranger, which was the last Lightning Collection new release that we got. So I don't know if he's going to be in my top 10 or not because he's a great figure, but I did have problems, and he's also the end of that line, literally. So bye, retro card Duke. Next up on the chopping block is Big Slamu, simply because he's not my favorite Street Shark, and if you can figure out, you could probably figure out who my favorite one is by now, and he is probably going to be in my top 10 if something crazy doesn't happen, but he's not a bad figure at all. He's really cool. I love the extra articulation they added. They fit in with any 6-inch scale. Like, yes, they're a little short, but that's because they're sharks. They're not even supposed to have legs. So, you know, you can fit them in with Street Fighter, Power Rangers, Marvel, whatever you want, Ninja Turtles especially. So, no gripes with this line. Oh, it's feeding time for the kitties. All right, so I think we have 14 figures left on the chopping block. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, 14. So 4 more eliminations, and we're going to go with Guile next because much like the other Street Fighter characters, I did not main Guile. Like the character, he's cool. Jean-Claude Van Damme plays him in the movie. Classic line, or classic role. But yeah, not my favorite Street Fighter. Much like Chun-Li was my top figure last year, I feel like Kim is going to be my top one this year, and if all goes according to plan with how well these have been going and how awesome that new Blanca looks, when he comes out, he's probably going to be my top one for next year because I just think Jada Toys has done the best out of any new toy company, especially with getting lines like they've got Scooby-Doo coming. I can't wait for that. They've got more of the cereal stuff with the Fruity Pebbles, more Street Fighter, the rest of the Street Fighter 2 entire roster. So Jada Toys just killing it as always. So this is no hate against them, as well as eliminating their Mega Man because there's just too many good figures. He's a great release, great early release in the year, really articulated for how short he is. Really getting that Marvel vs. Capcom display into high gear if you have one of those with these Jada Toys and Marvel Legends releases this year. So now we're down to 12. Picking 2 out of here is a nightmare. Like, who do I get rid of? All right, well, just because Hasbro has done so much to the Power Rangers line and essentially killed Power Rangers, we are going to eliminate the Turbo Ranger because the line is dead and my Power Rangers collection is dead. I am not going to be getting any of the Playmate stuff unless it's in scale, and then I'll probably finish out Wild Force, and that's the only, and Turbo, and that's the only team I don't have complete. If it's in scale and the same design and all that, if it's not the same aesthetic, I'm just gonna, no, don't need it. So goodbye Red Turbo Ranger, rest in peace Lightning Collection. Hasbro did Power Rangers dirty, and I will stand by that for the rest of my life. All right, so we gotta eliminate one more figure, huh? Well, I guess to keep it a clean sweep. Goodbye, was it Mines of Mandalore? No, which one was it? I don't remember which release this one, but it's the best one. This one with the cloth cape, with the updated helmet. But because we have no other Hasbro figures up here, I don't really think I had any other new Hasbro Black Series releases. I don't know if A-List Security came out this year. I can't think of any other brand new ones. If I'm wrong, let me know. Like, if you remember me doing a Black Series review of a figure that came out this year, let me know. And I'll maybe do an amended top 10 if I get indie at the end of this year, and if you guys point out some that I missed. But yeah, so for this top 10, we have no Hasbro figures, and he's an amazing figure. He looks great just standing there with those lights reflecting off of that Beskar. So he's no slouch. Pinless, scaled helmet, new thigh piece, but you know they're going to release a new Mando for the new movies. So it is what it is. So let's talk about our top 10. We have the Nacelle Vinny from Biker Mice from Mars, because he was always my favorite of the crew when I was growing up. And the really cool thing is they have the bikes coming. They have a couple other licenses like the Expanse, and I think that they have like the Food Wars, like, you know, the French fries and hamburgers and all that stuff. I think they have that as well, and a couple other like classic toy lines, Barnyard Commandos. So they're really bringing up the nostalgia, and these Biker Mice are really cool. They are $30 a pop, and the bikes are coming out next year for like $60 a pop, so really not too bad a deal. So number 10 is Vinny from Biker Mice from Mars. At number 9, we have the Shapes Collection Alloy from Horizon Forbidden West. I haven't played the game. It is a game I do want to play. I have a PC that can run it now. Still haven't gotten around to it, but she's got a lot of great accessories, really great articulation. You can see she's even got toe articulation down there. Really nice paint details, a bunch of different faceplates. She was like $45, so she was like a deluxe one, but with what she came with, it was really worth it. And I'd say this release for the Shapes Collection is on scale with like an SH Figure Arts. Maybe not so much the other ones, but this Alloy for sure. So she is our number 9 spot. At number 8, we're going to give it to the Bro Toys Kratos. Such a detailed figure from a third-party unlicensed manufacturer. It's actually Deicide War is what he's called, but you can see the sculpt on his armor all over. He's got paint, he's got detail, he's got accessories galore. And I got the deluxe version, so he comes with Murmur's head and an alternate head as well, and he's got the armor from the Endgame. It sucks they don't have an Atreus in the scale because the Shapes Collection one is way too small. But I would say that this one is a better 6-inch scale Kratos. Like, we'll put him next to our Black Agent Black or whatever they're called. I don't remember. But you can see, yeah, Kratos is supposed to be big. So him being a little bit bigger than like a 6.5-inch figure is not a problem. So number 8 is our Deicide War Kratos, because just look at all that. And then I dropped him. Number 7 is Streaks from Street Sharks. I told you one of them would be on my top 10, and he is my favorite. Growing up, I never was able to find the first release Streaks either, so it was like a little piece of my childhood was regained when I got this figure, because I could never ever find him. And he's the one that comes with the most accessories, because he also has swappable hands as well. So I'd say for $25, he is a good addition. If you just want to get one of the Street Sharks, get him or Ripster. Those are the two that are the coolest in my opinion. But Streaks is our number 7. Our number 6 is the Fresh Monkey Fiction. Is it Black Cell Agent? I don't remember what they're called. But just look at this guy, he's kitted out. And I didn't put the rest of them down here because they're all reused as far as the bodies, and it's just like paint and accessories that are different in head sculpts. So there was also not enough room up here. So not all of them went up here, but I had a good guy and a bad guy. And he's the one that came out on top because he's just so cool, especially when you put that visor down. He looks like some kind of badass. Number 5 is our CT Toys Black Suit Spider-Man. They are showing you that, like, even though a figure is an import, like, say, for instance, a Moth-X, which this is a knockoff of, it does not necessarily mean that that licensed figure is worth that price. Because I would say this CT Toys Spider-Man is just as good, except for a little paint chip I had on his spider that I had to fix here, as any Moth-X release. He feels solid. He looks great. He scales great with Marvel Legends, better than Moth-X, I would say, because he's slightly smaller, and I like a smaller Spider-Man. In fact, I'm going to do a video on why the Amazing Fantasy is the only right buck for Spider-Man, with some tweaks here and there, like wider shoulders or like some beefier legs, but the height and the frame is perfect. So this is also perfect because he's lithe, he's muscular, he's not too tall, he's not too bulky, and he's not like extra short like next to Judge Dredd. That looks about right to me because Judge Dredd should be like 6 feet tall and Spider-Man's like 5'10", so you know, it is what it is. So number 5, and I also saw the brown suit Wolverine, and they're just knocking it out of the park with all these releases, but the only one I got was this like $18 CT Toys Spider-Man. So top 5 is another unlicensed figure. At number 4, we have my only experience with Hiya Toys. We have Judge Dredd in their what is it? I forget what it's called. Super exquisite line with the cloth goods and like rubbery and metals and all kinds of stuff. Little on the short side, but he's still really cool. He came with a lot of accessories, and it is 90s nostalgia for me because I had tiny little Judge Dredd figures when I was growing up. Didn't really know where they came from, but he's from 2000 AD, which is a British comic book series. And of course there's the Sylvester Stallone movie and the Carl Urban movie, both of which hold a special place in my heart. I am the law. That's my Stallone. But yeah, really cool comic book character, kind of like a futuristic fascist government future where cops are judge, jury, and executioner. And this is a really cool first experience from Hiya Toys. So I felt like they really deserved a spot on the top 10. So number 4 is Judge Dredd. At number 3 is our SH Figure Parts. At number 3 is our SH Figure Arts Yusuke Urameshi. Really excited when I got this. I actually just did the review like a couple days ago, so he's fresh on my mind. One of my favorite animes, one of my favorite anime characters. So be like Ron would be my number 1, then it would be probably Goku, then maybe Yusuke. So yeah, as you can see, he's pretty high up there. I do like Kenshin, but the author that kind of besmirched the name of that. But this is a really great release. They do have younger Toguro coming out later next year, and he looks pretty sick, so I am hyped for that. So if you haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho, check it out because he's number 3. At number 2, I was hoping we would have a Mezco Indiana Jones by this point. It's supposed to be shipping. They told me it was shipping. I even emailed them. But this is still a really awesome release with a lot of great accessories. We have the mask, and I think it's supposed to be Stanley. Really cool figure. Really, really nice details on the soft goods. The head sculpts are amazing. The weapons are amazing. He articulates very well under that suit, and he has the added bonus of not being like a spandexy material, so I don't have to worry about posing him like I do with my Spider-Man or Green Goblin or Alien, even my Xenomorph from Mezco, because all of those are very, very delicate as far as the soft goods. But he's just in a cloth suit and he looks great, and yeah, can't beat the Toon Force. And so that leaves number 1 to our one and only Cammy from the Jada Toy Street Fighter line. I told you she's gonna be my number 1. It's just something about a really cool female figure that articulates well, that hits that nostalgia spot, and looks great, and she's just hitting all those marks. I cannot believe they gave her her costume, and she's got, you know, the camo stripes on her leg. She's got the French braids. Just a really, really amazing figure all around. She poses great. You can get her to stand on one foot, just like with Chun-Li. So I have no gripes with Jada Toys this year. As far as I'm concerned, they have a 10 out of 10. They're even replacing the messed up head sculpt that I had for her. It hasn't come yet, but they said, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have her in stock. And they messaged me back a couple days later like, hey, I found a replacement head. Do you still want it? And I was like, absolutely I do. So as far as releases, customer service, customer satisfaction, Jada Toys is number 1 in 2024 in my book. And that's even over Marvel Legends. Like, yes, I love Marvel Legends. I do not love Hasbro, but they had some heck of good releases this year. Hella good releases, I'm gonna say. And that's why we're doing a separate top 10 for Marvel Legends, because it would just be a disaster. So Cammy is our number 1. So there you have it, y'all. There's my top 10 for the year. So if you comment if you agree, disagree, let me know who your top 10 was, who your favorite figure was, how your day is going. Like, subscribe, check the Patreon, check the giveaways. Hopefully we're coming up on 3.5 and maybe like March or something of next year. Got to really crack down on the original content. So yeah, do all that stuff. Keep your head up, stay brave, stay bold and beautiful. I love you. I will see you next time, and Bye-bye.